If you're listening to Peel the Onion, chances are you're already questioning the layers of health, identity, and the systems we've been conditioned to live within. I'm someone who's deeply passionate about true health, and true health is what I refer to as combining physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, the multi-dimensionality of us. Through my training in psychology and my work in the energetic realms, I support people to return to their most authentic, embodied, enlivened, and enlivened self. And one of the most overlooked foundations of that, well, I've learned that's water. I was already a water snob when I discovered Kangen water, but this took hydration to another level. Alkalized, antioxidant-rich water that genuinely supports the body and vitality. But here's the deeper layer. Kangen isn't just about health. It's also about breaking out of conditioned ways of building wealth. This is a conscious, aligned pathway that supports both bodily nourishment and financial sovereignty without selling your soul or shrinking yourself to fit in a box. If you feel the call to upgrade your health, reclaim your energy, and create income in a way that actually aligns with who you are, this might be your next layer to peel. Check out the link in the show notes to get in contact with me. Hey guys, this is Olivia. Today's Minisode is all about the mind and our spirit. What I've been noticing personally with the mind is how scattered I can feel and be when I'm out of alignment. And that looks like my mind thinking lots of thoughts, but even about very random things that I don't need to know about, or other people's lives, or ruminating that repetition of thoughts after going to a certain environment or seeing a certain someone or group of people. What I've noticed with this pattern of mine is, yes, it's it's an obvious sign that I am out of alignment, but also it's an exciting sign to recalibrate myself. And that's my cue through my mind, noticing this scatter energy. That's my cue to then be intentional with how I bring in my energy hygiene. And energy hygiene is how I keep my field, my consciousness, my being on all my multi-dimensional levels that I reside in, and my mind, body, spirit, my whole being in alignment. And in this world, it's of course very natural for us to steer out of alignment because things are changing rapidly. The Earth's star is increasing in vibration, which is shaking up a lot of crap within us all, within our psyche, the sediment that is no longer needed to be within us or reside in us. It's all being brought up to the surface. There's really no running away, which is a very powerful time our souls have chosen to be here. But within that, it's again coming back, peeling your layers to understand your connection to yourself and your cues when you are feeling off or in a funk. But it's not trying to shift that immediately either. In my previous Minisode, I speak to feeling your feelings. Feeling is the work without needing to problem solve. But here I'm really focusing on another tool that empowers me to come back to alignment and have this as a daily ritual. And if it can't be daily, it's every second day or maybe even once a week to start if this is new for you, to create that energy hygiene for yourself. So, some examples I love to draw on with creating a sacred space is lighting a candle when I meditate. That adds a whole other layer of sacred devotion for me in my environment. I'm really devoting such energy to myself. Other things that enliven you is also how you create that energetic hygiene. It may be walking outside in nature. A friend of mine mentioned she was feeling really down recently, and she noticed she wasn't getting outside much. And as soon as she started getting outside in nature, just simple walks near her place, her mood shifted to the simplest of actions. Other things could be taking a shower, immersing yourself in water in any form, but intentionally cleansing, being present to the water on your body, and whether it's in the ocean or not. But you're choosing yourself. You're coming back to what's most important to you, and that naturally enhances your vibration. And it sounds simple, but again, it's the simple things that are the most powerful. Less is more. And creating that consistency for yourself within your days, within your weeks, to keep your energy field strong in such a rapid, shifting, transformational time is key. And that's really been my anchor. People have been saying, "Oh, you're so radiant and you must be sleeping well." And my baby girl wakes up still 2, 3 times a night for her feed, and I'm really not sleeping great, but I'm focusing on what I'm in control of in terms of my energy, my body, my spirit, and what enlivens me, and discerning, casting out what does not enliven me anymore, and choosing wisely. I encourage you to stay open-hearted in this process of revisiting. Perhaps you already have a strong routine or ritual that you don't consciously realize you have in terms of keeping your energy clean or cleaning yourself energetically after being around more dense energies, or just energies that perhaps test you and may throw you off your center. But my point around staying open-hearted is key, because I've noticed previously my younger version of myself um, would have been more fiery in terms of cutting cords or burning bridges quickly because no, the energy is misaligned. And that really came from a more wounded place where when I drop into my heart and I know I'm being in the open-hearted space and connection in my moments, in the now moment, here now, I'm really guided by my higher self. I'm guided by what is in true alignment, and I'm able to be in the stickiness of whatever energy is moving through, and also playing with it a bit more of what will best support me in keeping myself energetically clean. Rather than perhaps the mind telling you what will best support you, like cutting someone off immediately, which can be quite harsh and yeah, perhaps cause more struggle and suffering, which again I notice in the young version of me. Rather than being in the open-hearted space, it's allowed things to just fall away if they need to, you know? You don't need to do everything on your own. Another key learning in my world is calling on help. Call on help to your guides, your spiritual team, whatever that looks like, whether it's nature or high power or your angelic guides, ascended masters, the elements, or simply just praying, asking for help. Knowing there is always help there and you don't need to carry it all on your own and make it harder for yourself. It's like letting the snow fall where it needs to, or letting feathers fall where they need to without you, again, trying to control or be in control if something feels off. Drop back into the heart, stay that in that open-hearted space and just notice the magic that happens as you surrender, essentially. That's surrendering and witnessing what's true for you, but then handing it over and then seeing what comes from that. Alrighty, folks, that's all for this week's Minisode. I would love, absolutely love, to hear from you. Any topics you'd like for me to cover, discuss, and share on this platform, please let me know. You can send me an email at olivia at awakened, awakenedmbs.com, and please introduce yourself. I am focusing all my energy on my minisodes, my podcast, and aligning some guests to come before I return to my one-on-one client sessions in Sydney, Northern Beaches, middle of this year, June 2026. Would love to hear from you. Thank you all for tuning in and catch you all soon. Bye.